Shalom and greetings to you all. I hope you all had a fantastic Juneteenth. It's a modern day 15th of Nisan. It's a day that marked the end of slavery in the United States. It's the 15th of Nisan, marked the end of slavery under Pharaoh and fear. Now, freedom from slavery should always be celebrated. And whatever day you finally become free from the self-imposed fear that limits you, you should celebrate that too. Now, we're going to spend a moment or two welcoming the summer solstice. It's a name meaning sun standing still. Believe it or not, it's known as midsummer, although I swear summer just began. There's no spring this year, just winter to summer. But why would strange things about 2020 be unusual? Now, it's the longest day of the year, and it's occurring between June 20th and the 22nd every year. And in Finland, the day's 24 hours long. In Alaska, it's 22. In Iceland, it's just over 21. In London or Paris, it's 16 and a half. And here in Toronto, it's about 15 and a half hours of sunlight. Now, throughout history, these solar dates were seen as sacred days. And they're clearly named in the Talmud. Tekufat Nisan, the spring equinox when the sun enters Aries. Tekufat Tammuz, summer solstice when the sun enters Cancer. Tekufat Tishrei, the autumn equinox we're also familiar with when the sun enters Libra. And Tekufat Tevet, winter solstice when the sun enters Capricorn. Now, Tekufat means turn or cycle, and we celebrate these power days with blessings for the changing seasons and Kavanot, the prayerful intentions, for crossing from one time to another. And they're not new. They're based on very old traditions which you may or may not choose to reincorporate into your own spiritual practices. Each of these days stands for something. Spring is the triumph of life. It is renewal. Summer is about loss and abundance. Autumn is the link between heaven and earth as we stand in judgment during the 10 days of awe. And winter, it heralds the search for light. And remember, everything that happens in your life is a result of your kavanah, your intention. So take the opportunity to fully engage your senses, light the candles, drink the wine, taste the bread, smell the incense, and feel the water cleanse you. You hear the sounds of the rhythm of the day and take that moment to feel the music in your heart, in your soul. Blessed are you, Lord our God, who guides the world, who makes creation, whose wisdom changes the times, turns the seasons. As long as the days of the earth endure, planting and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, day and night shall not cease. Blessed are you, divine presence, who blesses the years. And as each season brings its own attention for the seasonal transitions, Kavanot la Tekufot. For the summer solstice, we take it from the book of Malachi, which means my messenger. And it's the last of the books of the prophets, and it served kind of as this transition book between the Old and the New Testaments. Now, this book is considered to be the words of God. A day is coming that burns like a furnace. I will shine upon you who revere the name of the Infinite, Son of Righteousness, with healing in her wings. And as we strive for this healing, we come together as a like-minded group, as we always do, in the collective consciousness of seekers, showing faith and love, a community, a chavur, a fellowship, expressing our nature of kindness, compassion, thoughts, feelings, hopes, dreams, and wishes. It unites us all in this community, house of spirit, Beth Ruach, sharing and bringing light, keeping fear at bay, unifying us all together. So once again, please do go ahead and invite everybody, physically, digitally, psychically, emotionally, or spiritually, to gather and share from Psalm 133, the Hine Batov. Hine Batov. Shevet Achi Gam Ya. Hine Batov. Shevet Achi Gam Ya. How good, how pleasant it is for brothers and sisters together. Community. 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 Together. Let's all spread love, goodwill, and fellowship to the world. Remember, friends, this is your setting aside just a little bit of sacred time in your own sacred space to honor and converse with whoever, whatever you happen to believe in. We all believe in something. It's a part of your kavanah, your intention that you put out to your universe. It is your goodwill. Let's take some time now to send some of that goodwill, some light and some healing out to whoever you know that needs it. The world needs it. Healing and renewal for everyone. Floats through space, finding those in need. So send it out for those you know and for the souls and spirits of everybody you love. So think of whoever that needs healing and renewal and love, or just plain goodwill. Focus on them. Call their names. It's not just for people. It is for our pets. It is for the earth. It is the healing of the world, the tikkun olam that's part of our spiritual genetic makeup. Let's send thoughts and energy for health and renewal for everybody in need. For those in our hearts and our minds, for Bob, for the Star Master, for Sky, for Albert, for Karen and John, for Devorah. Friends, it is the kindness, the healing wishes, the goodwill and love we all send out. It circles the world, finding those in need. So thank you, each of you, for all you do, for all you care. Because the world is a world of spirit, and spirit, my friends, never dies. Shabbat. Avotated Bakor Limotated made the source of strength. Bless the ones before us. Help us find the courage. Make our lives a blessing. The renewal of body, the renewal of spirit. Let us say, Amen. Misha Baruch, let us all have our spirits renewed. Friends, this is the great prayer for healing, which we call upon God to heal as He has healed before. Misha Baruch, may He who blessed, because all healing's a blessing. Let's all send and receive healing and renewal energy in our effort to love, to share, to care, to grow. Now, one of the most, if not the most famous of all Shakespeare's plays, has to be Romeo and Juliet. And probably no part more famous than the soliloquy from Act 2, Scene 2, when Juliet says, "What's in a name? That which we call a rose by any other name would smell as sweet." Well, we all know that. This week we encounter one of the worst named and explained pieces of biblical lore. It's almost like early fake news. This week we read shelach, send. Now, it's actually known as the episode of the spies. When you say the word spies and think of spies, a certain stereotype comes to mind. Okay, we think of James Bond, Simon Templar, Mata Hari, James West, not Churchill, Roosevelt, Elizabeth Regina, Gandhi. The former were spies, the latter chieftains, heads of states, great leaders. Numbers 13:1, and the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "Send you men, that they scout the land of Canaan, which I am about to give to the Israelites, one man for each of his father's tribe, every one of them a chieftain." Everyone a chieftain. These were the leaders of Israel, sent to scout, but we diminish their importance by simply referring to this as the episode of the spies. That's just wrong, and it takes away from who these men really were. Moses' instructions were quite simple. Go up this way through the Negev. You shall go up into the high country, and you shall see the land. What is it like? The people that dwell in it, are they strong or slack? Are they few or many? What's the land in which they dwell? Is it good or bad? What are the towns in which they dwell? Are they open settlements or in fortresses? What is the land? Is it fat or lean? Are there trees in it or not? And you shall muster strength and take of the fruit of the land. And the season was the season of the first ripe grapes. And they came back from scouting the land at the end of 40 days, and they recounted to him and said, "We came into the land to which you sent us, and it's actually flowing with milk and honey. And this is its fruit." They bring back this giant bunch of grapes. But mighty is the people that dwells in the land, and the towns are fortified and very big, and also the offspring of the giants we saw there. They put forth an ill report to the Israelites of the land that they had scouted, saying, the land through which we passed to scout is a land that consumes those who dwell in it. And all the people whom we saw in it are men of huge measure. And there did we see the Nephilim, sons of the giant from the Nephilim. And we were in our own eyes like grasshoppers, and so we were in their eyes. Now, the function of their mission is not espionage, but observation, to bring back a description of the land to their people. They are leaders. That's why their negativity when they return is so devastating. It's not just a disappointing bit of intelligence, but it's a failure to lead and to encourage. This is not what a great leader does. Take a look around. As George Santayana said, those who do not read history are doomed to repeat it. Those who fail to learn from the mistakes of their predecessors are destined to repeat them. Well, like I said, take a look around. Now, we focus on the men as spies. And the legendary indication associated with this piece is that a single cluster of grapes is so heavy it requires 2 men to carry it. A land flowing with milk and honey, seen as a kind of death trap. So even if the Israelites were to succeed in obtaining a foothold and themselves became dwellers of the land, somehow sharing it with the giants, the half-celestial beings we met in Genesis 6, well, it would consume them through domestic and international warfare. Now, once again, the people then, just as today, are ruled by fear. So much so that the result of this episode, Numbers 14:1, and all the community lifted their voice and put it forth, and the people wept on that night. And all the Israelites complained against Moses and against Aaron, and all the community said to them, would that we had died in the land of Egypt or in this wilderness. Would that we had died. And why is the Lord bringing us to this land to fall by the sword? Our women, our little ones will become booty. Would it not be better for us to go back to Egypt? And they said one man to another, let us put up ahead and return to Egypt. The Lord said to Moses, how long will this people despise me? How long will they not trust me with all the signs that I have done in their midst? So God's pissed and immediately acts as judge, jury, and executioner and pronounces sentence on the people. Numbers 14:22. For all the men who have seen my glory and my signs that I did in Egypt and in the wilderness, yet have tried me 10 times over and have not heeded my voice, they shall never see the land that I swore to their fathers, and all who despise me shall not see it. And your own corpses will fall in this wilderness. And your sons will be herdsmen in the wilderness 40 years. And they will bear your whoring until your corpses come to an end in the wilderness. By the number of days that you have scouted the land, 40 days, a day for a year. A day for a year you will bear your crimes 40 years. And you will know what it is to thwart me. I, the Lord, have spoken. In this wilderness shall they come to an end, and there shall they die. The people were on the edge of the promised land, but their fear took control and sent them on a 40-year journey, a journey to erase the generation of fear. But was that fear inculcated in the genetic essence of the people? Is fear still the driving force? This story, my friends, is about the failure of leadership. The people were there to observe, not sneak, and never forget they were the leaders. These were the leaders of each of the tribes, the chieftains of the 12 tribes, charged with making intelligent, well-founded decisions, as we should expect all of our leaders to do. We do them a disservice in simply negating them to the role of agents. Beware the pretty faces that you find. Pretty face can hide an evil mind. Be careful what you say, or you'll give yourself away. odds are you won't live to see tomorrow. Secret agent man, secret agent man, they're giving you a number, taking away temptation. And not all things end in defeat, because the final message we are given, repeated perhaps more than any other in the Bible, is the message of egalitarianism, of this reiterated formula. Found in Numbers 15:14, one statute for you and for the sojourner who resides, a perpetual statute for your generations. You and the sojourner alike shall be there before the Lord. One teaching, one practice shall there be for you and for the sojourner who resides with you. It is a reminder, friends, that we are all one. We are all connected. We are all the same. There is nobody who's different. Yes, the world is sacred. So is everything in it. Express your gratitude. Light a candle, make a wish, celebrate your life and the lives of those you love. Share your feelings with them. Live free. Be free. Honor your freedom. Be well, be happy, be blessed. Share and honor the light and all who live in the light and continue to shine. And continue to send everybody you know goodwill and love. Pray for peace and freedom for everybody. And end to terror and hatred. Remember, friends, we're a community. We learn together. We celebrate each other. We love each other. We share this ride together. Men and women equally. Let's send out love, not fear. Send out peace, harmony, goodwill, and healing to all who need it. And please do learn to forgive and learn to love, including yourself, if not mostly yourself. Open your hearts, honor the relationships of your life. Tell those you love that you love them. Take advantage of the time you have and enjoy the journey. We take the twists and turns, the patterns that weave through the fabric of our lives in our effort to grow, to learn, to be, to love. So please do love. Now bless you all. Have a fantastic week, a week of love and light, a week of peace, a week of miracles. Examine your intentions and use them to imprint your will on the universe. Because remember, we set in motion everything that happens in our lives. It's our intention, our kavana, our cause, our effect. Everything is linked. Now, as I've said, you always have time to forgive and be forgiven. You have the knowledge of what's good and bad. So acknowledge what you've done wrong to yourself, to God, and to any person you've wronged, and ask forgiveness, but do so with sincerity, with accountability and vulnerability. Forgive those who've hurt you. You'll learn to be forgiving and compassionate, because the secret of forgiveness, compassion, and peace, my friends, is in acceptance. Can you accept yourself, other people in the world just as they are? Can you accept life just as it is without trying to control it? If you do, you can experience the peace that acceptance brings. Do not stop your journey. Do not stop moving towards your promised land. It is your home. So keep on dreaming, keep on being, keep sharing, keep shining, keep teaching, keep spreading joy and goodwill. Do not follow fear. Follow love. It's always in front of you. And remember to have faith, an unwavering adherence to principle, just as I have faith in the principle of love. All of you. Act with purity of heart and mind. Despise none, defraud none, hate none, cherish all. Honor every child of God, every creature of the earth. And may all people know peace in this year. May you nurture kindness and love everywhere you go. Work to be present in the body. Expand your heart. Quiet your mind. Because the deepest source of real power lies in consciousness and your ability to be mindful, to be aware, to be present in all of life's circumstances. Make the most of your time. Continue to touch and transform lives around you, because you're never alone, my friends. You're forever blessed and have the ability to bring blessings to everybody you meet. Health, love, and renewal to everybody you come across. We're all energy. Energy cannot be destroyed. It can only be transformed. Your words are your power to transform, to love, to bless. So be generous. Bless others and bless yourself, and love with the heart. We're all part of a greater whole. Embrace love, not fear. Forgiveness, not anger. And be there for someone, because someone will always be there for you, whether you know it or not. And continue to explore faith and belief and what they mean to you. Do not accept shame as a natural state. Whatever you feel others have felt, whatever you've experienced, others have too. We share together, we learn together, we help each other. We are each of us trying to find love and acceptance and support we all have or could have a special someone in our lives. Find them, tell them what they mean. Pardon me, and remember, you're never alone on your journey to your promised land. Watch your words. They hurt you, they heal you, they imprison you, and they free you. Keep forgiving those you need to forgive. You free them that way. and ask forgiveness from those you need to ask forgiveness of. Listen to the voice of God as he, she, it talks to you. Talks to you now, talked to you then, long ago on the mountain, telling you how easy it is to understand. And if you were chosen to be a chieftain, a leader of men, rise above your own fear. Always lead by example. Be the leader of the band. An only child and wild, a cabinet maker's son. His hands were meant for a different work, and his heart was known to none. Left his home, weighed his load in solitary way. He gave to me a gift I know I never can return. Leader of the band is tired and his eyes are growing old, but his blood runs through my bloodstream and his soul is in my soul. My life has been a poor attempt to imitate the man. I'm just a living legacy to the people of the band. Now, thank you for joining me, my friends. You're all leaders. Teach by example. Be thankful, be gracious, be kind, be loving. Have a wonderful summer. And I will see you all soon. Shabbat shalom and blessings to you all. Take care.